It certainly is, 87.9, the local music show, and I'm very pleased to say that I have in the studio Titus. Good evening, guys.
Hello.
Right, I know the band have been going together, well, the whole band have been actually going to for some time. Now, how many years has that actually been a Titus?
God, don't ask.
Ian's been in it for about 45 years.
No, approximately 30 years. I won't get any more exact than that.
Have you been a constant member, Ian?
I have. I'm the only original left, I'm afraid.
So how did they, and why did they start in the first place? Can you remember that far back?
The three of us, two members sadly passed away now, and I got together to do a thing at Blackland School, I think it was.
Right.
Just a three-part vocal, folky harmony at a PTA do. And then we added a multi-instrumentalist, guitarist, and all sorts of other things, Ron Cleave, and became a four-piece for a long time. Then Ron emigrated to the West Country, and we were joined by Mick on stage left for all you radio listeners.
I'm wearing blue.
And then some years later, after John Towner passed away, Alan joined us, Alan Marshall, and we became a three-piece. And that's the situation at the moment, although it may change. Watch this space.
I was told that we may have a fiddle player or a violinist as well. You might have expanded into a four-piece.
Keeping that under wraps at the moment.
So that's an exclusive, guys.
Try not to count chickens before they're hatched. But we'd very much like it to happen.
But, I mean, you've been ever present, so obviously on the folk circuit here. But have you played further afield?
Ever played?
Further afield from sort of the Hastings area as Titus?
Cool. Yeah. We've
played London.
Bexhill.
London. Bexhill, yeah.
No, we cover a kind of area from Dover around the North Kent coast, London, Leatherhead, Brighton, a sort of circle that way.
So why that sort of folk music in the first place? Is it something that you grew up with, Ian? Something
I kind of grew up with in Scotland, and then developed an interest in the army originally, and then Polytechnic, and was in a folk band from the early 70s called the Mariners.
Yeah.
And they've spawned all sorts of musical things in this town, that band.
Any other bands you can name come out of that?
Better Days came out of that.
Oh, I remember them. They were a good band, they were.
And as a result of that, possibly the Tabs, the next generation of folk rock bands. And right now I've gone blank on others, but there have been lots of others.
So a seminal band, as they say.
Sorry?
A seminal band, as they say.
Well, yes, indeed, yes.
We're safe with that one, Mick. It's all right, I think. Just keeping you quiet on that. So that's where all those what sort of influence? Because you do sort of fishermen, sort of sea shanty sort of type things as well, don't you? Apart from the traditional folk.
A bit before the fishermen.
Bruce Springsteen.
Yep.
You play a bit of him.
Rolling Stones.
Well, he's got roots in folk music and that as well, hasn't he?
Well, he's recently discovered them, I think.
Rediscovered,
sort of
yes.
Retrospectively, but yeah. We are a little strapline on the limited advertising we do is eclectic acoustic music, generally misspelt as electric acoustic music by journalists and so on, but meant to be eclectic.
So is it all original songs, all traditional songs, or do you put some of your own songs in there as well?
Let Mick answer that one, I think.
Go on then.
No, we don't. No, there's probably about half a dozen or so, something like that, originals.
Mostly written by Mick. He's too modest to say so.
Yes, I'll come to the other bands after you performed, but I know that Mick writes sort of folk songs. Actually played some on this station and on other stations as well.
Yeah, did some last year with different lyrics. I remember that quite well.
Yeah, different. Yes, controversial lyrics. Anyway, I believe you're going to do 4 songs for us tonight. That's right. So Take it away, guys. Titus.
In the year of our Lord 1806, we set sail from the cold quay of Cork. We were sailing away with a cargo of bricks for the Grand City Hall in New York. Well, we'd an elegant craft, she was rigged fore and aft, and Lord, how the trade winds drove her. She had 23 masts, she stood several blasts, and they called her the Irish Rover. There was Barney McGee from the banks of the Lee, there was Hogan from County Tyrone. There was Johnny McGurk, who was scared stiff of work, and a man from Westmeath named Malone. Well, there was Slugger O'Toole, he was drunk as a rule, and Fighting Bill Tracy from Dover, and your man Mick McCann from the banks of the Bann was the skipper of the Irish Rover. We had 1 million bags of the best Sligo rags and 2 million barrels of bone. We had 3 million bales of old nanny goat's tails and 4 million barrels of stone. Well, we had 5 million hogs and 6 million dogs and 7 million barrels of porter. There were 8 million sides of old blind horses' hide in the hold of the Irish Rover. We had sailed 7 years when the measles broke out. The ship lost her way in a fog, and the whole of the crew was reduced down to 2. 'Twas myself and the captain's old dog. Then the ship struck a rock. Lord, what a shock! Nearly tumbled over. Turned 9 times around, and the poor old dog was drowned. I'm the last of the Irish